Thundercat is great at bass. His sense of humour is also ace. His new album Drunk has plenty of funk and 23 tracks in its place. That's a lot. 23. I like Thundercat's very humorous lyrics on this album. I mean, it seems to celebrate the very mundane and the everyday and the trivial. I mean, there's a track on here, A Fan Mail, which is about the viewpoint of a cat. I mean, in the second track here, Captain Stupido, lists of tasks in just an everyday routine. Combing your hair, brushing your teeth, beating your meat, going to sleep. But the most profoundly funny track here is Tokyo, a track just listing off very silly, weeaboo-ish kind of things about Japan.
Gonna eat so much fish, I think I'm gonna be sick. Gonna blow all my cash on anime. Yes.
Plus, I guess the smoothness of a lot of Thundercat's instrumental style on Drunk is very nice too. It's a very distinct sound to that bass that I recognised from albums that he has contributed to, like To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. I definitely recognise the bass playing there.
The ghost of Mandela, hope my flow stay propelling. Let these words be your earth and moon, you consume every message.
And it's topped off by some keyboards and some nice falsetto vocals from Thundercat himself. I wouldn't say it's a totally versatile album though, and in fact I think with 23 tracks there's a lot of stuff here that could have been easily cut out. A lot of filler, especially towards the back end of the album. During the last quarter-ish, from like track 17 onwards, one track even just fades out halfway through the song and just spends a notable chunk with solid silence, just nothing going on. Yeah. Plus there's a song with Wiz Khalifa, which is basically your typical Thundercat funky instrumental, with just some vapid Wiz Khalifa lyrics about getting high. Wiz adds literally nothing of note to the track or even just the album in general. It's basically just a generic, let's get high kind of verse from Wiz Khalifa, who has always been about that stuff. And then the song with Pharrell, I couldn't even tell what his contributions were. Not to rubbish this album completely, because I think the better songs on here are during the first half and around the middle, so thankfully, you know, when you first start out listening to this album, you're just gonna get the best stuff. You get smooth, funky tunes, some humorous songs, an insane jazz fusion interlude, even a track with Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins, which is pretty awesome. Though I guess the musical style on this album, while it is lovely, I noticed that Thundercat's vocals are always very wispy and kind of limited too. And so with 23 tracks under this album's belt, it's kind of hard to offer that much variance with it. This album certainly gives you a lot to bite into, and therefore I was concerned from the start about whether this album was going to be hit or miss throughout. And it sort of is, but most of the misses are just towards the end. But I reckon it's still worth checking out though, because I liked it. Most of it anyways. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.